Hi, James Kills. Hey, Partly Cloudy, how are you? Thank you guys for joining me. I'm going to get started here in a second. Just let me do some edits to this really quick. Hey, Sarah. I'm sorry, you guys. I'm going to get started in 1 second. Let me just do some editing really fast. No tears today. No crying today. Okay. Enable age restriction. Hi, Rev. Nice to see you. I hope that you're doing okay. The audio with StreamYards tends to be very janky. So at any time during this stream, if you guys hear static, just please let me know. Save changes. And thank you guys for joining me. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and get started. I just wanted to reiterate something because it seems to me that a lot of people want to act brain dead about hey Black Rage, how are you? I hope that you're feeling good. Thank you for joining me. All right, so people want to act brain dead about this whole. I want to first of all make it clear that it's common sense that exotic dancing is a job and not a lifestyle. Let's first of all get that one thing out of the way. The reason why I use the word exotic dancer is because a lot of the establishments that I am familiar with, the women do not have to get naked or take their clothes off in order to make money. It's not required. Now, in some clubs, that is a requirement, but in all clubs, that is not something that is a requirement. Hi, Mo. Nice to see you. Thank you for joining me. I'm just going to tell all the mods right now, please look out for trolls. And thank you very much for joining me. I appreciate that. So people tend to get the job of exotic dancing twisted with the lifestyle. They see a girl, she's an exotic dancer, and immediately they assume, oh, she must be an escort, or oh, she must be a prostitute, or oh, she must be, live a promiscuous lifestyle. Let me tell you something. I have friends that are exotic dancers. Many of them are married with children. Many of them have boyfriends. Many of them don't have children, but the ones that do may be involved, with, like I said, they're exotic dancers. They're either in relationships. Some of them are single. Some of them have children. Some of them are married without children. Some of them are married with children. So you get people from all walks of life that choose that profession, since we want to paint a bad picture of escorts. Thank you, Rev. I appreciate it. So, moving on. I appreciate that love, 420. Thank you very much. So, I first wanted to say that because people tend to get exotic dancing, the occupation, confused with a lifestyle. And that's very annoying because it seems to me that people can't separate the lifestyle from the job. As far as escorting is concerned, if you're a person who is familiar or you've been around people who are involved in that occupation, you would know that a lot of times, and even with exotic dancing, the men aren't asking for sex in every case in exchange for compensation. A lot of times with escorting, women get paid to be travel companions, okay? They get paid to escort men to high-profile events such as political rallies, NFL games, galas, award shows, things like that. When you're talking about higher end and high level service and things like that, but people from who lack class, who haven't been around subculture, who don't know anything about culture, who haven't had the exposure to stuff like that, they wouldn't know anything about that, right? Hey, Miss Boxing, thank you for joining me. Nice to see you. Because it seems to me, like I said, people want to all of a sudden act brain dead. And I'm going to say this too. I'm not a scientist, but I know the composition of an atom. I know the basic composition of an atom, but do I have to be a scientist to know that? Because also a stigma that's attached to anyone who talks about exotic dancing or escorting or anything, oh, that must mean that she's an escort, or oh, that must mean that she's an exotic dancer. I talked about this back on a men's panel last August. I used to run a gift shop out of a gentleman's club. Yes, it was a higher end gentleman's club. It wasn't a strip club because a lot of the times, like I said, in these clubs, the men either have very stressful work lives or stressful home lives. So they come to basically for entertainment for women. And entertainment can mean many different things. It doesn't always involve a girl taking her clothes off, but you have people with limited thinking skills that don't seem to understand that. A lot of times they just want, honestly, the woman to talk to them and entertain their conversation. Taking your clothes off isn't required. Exchanging your number isn't required. You make someone a regular client, they come back every weekend just to see one particular girl. You know what I mean? So I'm going to need people to use their brain, the one that works. Moving forward. Hey, Cash God. Hey, Duran. Nice to see you. Yeah, so if you caught a little bit of the Sunday Rumble this past Sunday, I think some of you probably, I don't know, maybe you caught some of it, maybe you caught a little bit of it, maybe you didn't, but I was basically on the panel and I was attacked because I was accused of glamorizing that lifestyle. Well, first of all, it's not a lifestyle, it's an occupation. We all know this. Anyone who has friends that are exotic dancers knows that. And that's why I use the example of my friends who are married with children who happen to be exotic dancers. Yes, my female friends. I also have male friends that are exotic dancers too. Some people are able to separate the occupation from the lifestyle. In some cases, that's not always fortunate. You know what I mean? But you do have some people who can shut it once they take their costume off. They're off. They shut that off. They don't turn it into a lifestyle. But when you're dealing with people from low tier society and people who haven't been around culture and people who haven't been around diverse groups of people, the idea of an escort not having to do any sexual favors for compensation, that idea is very foreign to them. So I just thought I'd come on here and rant about it because it seems to me that all of a sudden people want to act brain dead. Well, maybe they don't know. Well, I'm here to tell you, yes, they absolutely do exist. And it doesn't take being one to know one. Okay? As I stated earlier, there are a lot of things that I'm skilled at. There are a lot of things that I'm well versed in. But that doesn't mean I have to directly identify with anything to be one thing or know about one thing over the other. I'm going to need people to use their brain, the one that works. Oh, you saw it, Rev? Exactly. Rev's, oh shit. Okay, hit snooze on that. Okay, I got it. All right, I got this. So Rev says they have stress and they go to those clubs to relax from reality. Exactly. And a lot of those men have very, very stressful home lives because they have wives that nag them. So a lot of times, like I said, when they come to the club, when they come to those gentlemen's, those gentlemen's clubs and those establishments and stuff, it doesn't take a whole lot to entertain them, because just to be in the atmosphere is a break. So all the extra stuff and all the dancing and all the getting naked, a lot of them don't even want to see that. They just want to be around a girl and they just want to conversate and talk about different things to either make him laugh. A lot of times, I mean, these guys talk, the subjects vary from one end of any spectrum to another. You know what I mean? But for some reason, hi, Mac Joseph. But for some reason, you have people out here who want to demonize escorting, and exotic dancing because they honestly really don't even really know anything about it. Because anyone who hasn't been around people who, have chosen that occupation, and I mean men and women, they really have a very limited view about the different areas of interest that can be served in that sort of arena. Like I said, I've been around that arena for a very long time, and it doesn't take me being an escort to know that a lot of times that when they have these different transactions that take place in these different arrangements, a lot of times you have the terms drawn out by a legal, by a lawyer or an attorney. So it's a contractual agreement most times. And I'm talking about and I'm not talking about some back alley where a guy is paying you $100 for a blowjob. No, I'm not talking about that. That is low-level prostitution. That's what that is. I'm talking about higher end, where these women get paid to travel. They get paid to be travel companions. They get paid to, like I said, escort these men to high-profile events. Like I said, there are a vast majority, the vast majority, when you talk about higher end escorting, a lot of times in those arrangements, there's no sexual activity involved, and this is not to glamorize anything, but this is just to talk about what I know about when it comes to that particular arena. And I'm not going to retract anything that I said on that panel. I'm going to reiterate everything that I said since it came up. And no, I'm not the one that brought it up. And Rev, you said that you caught a little bit of that hangout. I will be in your Discord later on today, Rev, and we can chop it up and really talk about it, because I honestly still have a lot of thoughts about that whole entire conversation. Exactly, it is pure ignorance. You won't. First of all, James Kills, I don't know why you would bring that person up in my chat room. This has nothing to do with him, but I'm going to go ahead and square you away. There you go, James Kills. Have a good one. So yeah, Ref, I will be in your Discord later, and we can chop it up and really, get into the conversation, because it seems to me that people play ignorant and they say things when it's convenient. Hey, 89 TV, I hope you're doing okay. Nice to see you. So anyway, I just wanted to come here and talk about that and reiterate some things. I will be doing a BDSM stream probably either later on today or tomorrow. I'm not going to make any promises. But I just wanted to, come here and do a quick rant about that. This is not going to be a panel. I'm not going to open it up. Because as I stated before, it's not a discussion at this point. This is me sharing my insight and my experience about an occupation that I am familiar with, because I have friends who work in that arena. What else? Oh, yes. Okay, I'm coming. Ugh, you gotta love cell phones. What else? There's one more thing I wanted to say before I go. I think that was it. I think I pretty much made all the points that I needed to make. You mean enough? I know what you're saying, but it's still a small number of men. I'm not talking about for sexual exchanges, Mac Joseph. I don't know how much of the stream you caught or didn't catch, but I'm talking about higher end escorting, where there are actual legal contracts drawn out for arrangements where the woman's job or the man's job would be to escort a client to a high profile event, travel companionship, stuff like that. I'm not talking about some, $500 an hour to get paid to be. No, Because even when there's you have some men who just want to entertain a fantasy, and a lot of times those fantasies don't involve any kind of physical sexual contact, no oral sex, no any of that. A lot of times, like I said, it's about entertaining a fantasy and an idea. It's not about, explicit sex all the time. So yeah, I'm gonna need people to, get some exposure if they want to talk about stuff they don't know nothing about. And I'm not talking about you, Mac Joseph. I'm not talking about you. Well, anyway, you guys, I'm gonna go ahead and end this. I just wanted to reiterate that. I hope you guys have a nice day. Enjoy your weekend. Be safe. And take care. And I'll see you on the next one. Peace out.